Hey, welcome back. Today I'm holding the office assistant because she won't shut up and I'm trying to do a video, and I figured you can get a little enjoyment out of her just hanging with me. She's probably enjoying this a lot because she likes to hang out. Anyway, guess what happens when you think you've created the best laid plans? You know there's a saying about that, right? Well, this happened to me last year when I was just getting ready to go on a trip with a group to Japan, which was amazing. And then I had this year's plans just sitting there waiting. Yeah, the best laid plans go to waste. Watch this. All right. I hope you enjoyed that intro. I worked on it, and it was a lot of fun to create. It's a couple years old. I like it. So picture this. A year ago, I'm fresh off organizing an incredible group tour to Japan. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. And let me tell you, watching a bunch of travel enthusiasts experience the Shinkansen bullet train for the first time, well, chef's kiss. Here, watch this. Pure magic. But here's the thing about being a travel advisor. There's no such thing as mission accomplished. While everyone's still posting their pictures, their photos, their videos onto their Instagram, I am very deep into 3 spreadsheets planning the next adventure. Enter the Greece and Croatia tour. Simple plan, right? 1 week in Athens, 1 week in Dubrovnik. Clean, classic, European perfection. But then my clients, who at first said they loved it, said something else. Hey, they said, this tour sounds great, but could we maybe visit some Greek islands too? Can we visit some Greek islands too? Now, the customer is always right, but sometimes the customer doesn't realize they're asking you to basically redesign an entire trip from scratch. Hold on a second. Office assistant giving me problems. Hold on. Let's switch you. Oh. Well, the office assistant wasn't, participating well, so I had to put her down. And then I dropped my phone. All that went on and was trying video for you. It's okay. Things like this happen. Anyways, now I was saying the customer is always right, but sometimes the customer doesn't realize that they're asking you to basically redesign the whole trip from scratch because, timelines and deadlines and things like that. But you know what? Challenge accepted. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that the best adventures come when you say yes to things that might seem impossible. Really, that's when they happen. So boom, Naxos and Santorini enter the party. And you might be wondering, well, why did you choose Naxos and not Mykonos? The reason I chose it is because Mykonos has become the Instagram darling that charges Instagram prices. Meaning, you might have to take out a loan to stay there for a few nights. I've heard people tell stories about drinks when they stepped into a bar where they were charging $80 per. That's way too much. And I don't want my clients having to pay too much for something that should be much less. And Mykonos isn't that great to put it way above any of these other islands. As a matter of fact, I would say many of those other islands are actually more beautiful and better to visit. Hence, Naxos. Easier on the budget, but just as pretty on the eyes. So, Naxos also hasn't, let all its fame go to its head yet. I'm hoping it stays that way because I will know within the next week or two whether that has happened or not. And I don't want that to happen. All right. Now, come here. Go a little closer. Come here. Here's where things get really interesting. Yeah. I've got 2 different groups on this trip doing similar yet different things, and I need to manage this. Now, this is where I can coordinate better than most people. Maybe that's saying a little bit much, but I believe I can coordinate better than most people. I can make the seemingly impossible become possible because I have to be there in essence for 2 different groups. So I had to make this right. So I've got 2 different groups with 2 different itineraries happening simultaneously. Group 1 arrives the day after I do, and they're Greece purists. They're going to be in Greece for approximately 10 days. And they're going to be living their best Mediterranean life. Group 2 shows up on about 3 days later, and they're doing a blend of blend of Greece and Croatia, 1 week in each. But part of that time it's in 3 different places. So we're really, limiting their time a little bit just to get what they would like. And I guess that's okay because they did ask for islands too. Group 2 shows up and they get a quick 1-day Athens appetizer. I always recommend 3 nights minimum, but in this case, in order to make everything work, we had to do 1 day, and then they're off to Naxos for 1 full day, and then they get a nice helping of Santorini. So I'm basically running a relay race in which I'm the baton and the runner. And for some reason, I know it's going to work. I planned pretty well for this. And, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm going to do what my clients ask me to do. And I'm going to make it work. If it is impossible, I have to tell them. I understand that. But if I can make it work, I try to make it work. Now, the real question. Why Greece and Croatia? It does seem like this combination is a little unconventional. A lot of people don't put those 2 together. So let's say a little bit about Greece. It's like that friend who's impossible not to love. Beautiful, check. Amazing food, double check. And then islands that look like they were created by God himself, triple check. You literally cannot have a bad time in Greece. You can have a bad moment, but you're going to have a great time. It is scientifically impossible to go on vacation to Greece and it be the worst time you ever had unless something extreme happens. Buy travel insurance. Buy travel insurance. All right. But Croatia. Let me just tell you, Croatia is where the magic happens. I visited Croatia in 2020 and met my good friend George Kokos and his fiancée Misty on the walls of Dubrovnik. Now, city walls, I think if you've watched me enough, you'll know I love them. But the city walls of Dubrovnik are 1, 2, maybe 5 steps ahead of any other city walls I've ever been on. They are amazing. They give you amazing views. My recommendation, I hope a lot of people don't hear this because I don't want it to be that crowded when I go, but you go at the very last time of the day that you can go. So by the time you get to the section that is on the Adriatic coast, you get to see the sunset from the city walls. It is freaking beautiful. It's amazing. Anyways, when I visited there, it was during that season we don't talk about anymore, when everybody was getting jabbed, and it wasn't a very good time. I was able to go. Felt proud of myself to make this trip. Nobody was there. And I left there a changed man. So Croatia is what happens when mountains decide to dive into crystal clear seas. When waterfalls show off just because they can.
And when every single coastline view makes you question why you've been wasting your time anywhere else. Trust me, it's beautiful. So, I should have a hat or something that signifies that, I have some psychology experience. Worked in group homes for years. I got my first degree in psychology. I worked with the severely mentally ill. I also worked in schools for over a decade. So psychology is a huge part of what I do. But travel psychology 101. Most people who take a big trip every couple of years are playing it safe with the greatest hits: London, Paris, Rome, maybe Portugal, Spain, all that. If they're feeling a little adventurous, they're thinking maybe Australia, New Zealand, Japan, China, and all the places that show up on the must-see list. And Croatia, a lot of people from the U.S. are saying, I don't know what's there. I don't know why I would want to go. That's cool, but what is in Croatia? Well, one thing is I can show you, and you're going to see some pictures while I'm talking. Maybe a little bit of video from my experience in Croatia before. But when people go to Croatia, they come back asking, why did I waste all that time in crowded tourist traps when this level of uniqueness was sitting right here in Europe the whole time? Croatia isn't just a hidden gem. It's the hidden gem that makes seasoned travelers kick themselves for not discovering it sooner. It's that place that ruins you for everywhere else because it sets the bar impossibly high. Maybe you think I am just spitting words to make you think you should go. I'm telling you, you will not forget the experience. Alright, words and pictures can only do so much, right? Sometimes you need to see someone get completely obsessed with a place to understand why it's worth your time and money. That's why I made it my personal mission to get my clients to Croatia this year. And honestly, I can't get enough of the place. It's like travel addiction, but the healthy kind, right? Some addictions are healthy. Are they? I don't know. This one I think is pretty good. All right. Fun fact as we move on. My most viewed videos are my What's It Like to Drive series from Croatia and Crete. Apparently, you all love watching me navigate foreign roads while trying not to drive into the Mediterranean or the Atlantic. I had that one time it looked like we were about to drive into the Atlantic when we were on Tenerife. That was, that was an interesting drive. Interesting drive. Well, I want you to get ready because I'm about to deliver some serious content gold. Now, this will happen over the next couple months. I'm going to make a brand new What's It Like to Drive in Croatia video and a brand new What's It Like to Drive in Santorini video. I want to do it a little bit more justice, and maybe it'll be better, maybe it won't. I haven't done it yet, so I don't even know. But the time in Croatia, that we're going to have one full day where there's 3 cars going up the Dalmatian coast to some lesser known places along that coastline. That coastline is the bee's knees, the shizzy nizzy. It's awesome. I just got to say that. Awesome. And if you watch my What's It Like to Drive, either the Adriatic coast or What's It Like to Drive in Croatia video, you will know what I'm talking about. Watch it on the big screen. If you're watching on the small screen, you're not getting the right view. If you watch it at home on YouTube, watch it there because you get some really beautiful views. And hopefully this time I do it even more justice. I do it better. Hopefully. You can't say it's going to be better until it's done. Anyway. And then I'm going to make that What's It Like to Drive in Santorini video because I'm not sure how much I like the first one. I'd really like to do it some justice. I'm going to be driving instead of my brother driving this time. And I'm going to drive around it a little bit more and see what I can get. But the views driving from the port to the top of the island, yeah, you can't stop. So somebody's going to have to video while I'm driving. You cannot stop on that. There's buses and cars coming down that thing. And it's probably more crowded this time than it was the last time. All right. So, lastly, my last little thing. My question for you. Where's that one place you know? You, right here, watching me right now. You. What's that one place that you know people should visit because it's absolutely incredible? But they just won't. Well, that place you've been trying to convince friends and family to experience. But they keep choosing the same old destinations. I know people who just stay here in town and think they're experienced. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. Maybe I'm just a different person, but I love to see the world. Drop it in the comments below. That place. I genuinely want to know what hidden gems I should be adding to my ever-growing list of places that will change my life. And hey, while you're down there commenting, smash that like button if you're living vicariously through me and my travel planning chaos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know, here, should I put it on my head? Subscribe right here. I don't know. Maybe we'll try over here. Subscribe. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to this channel. It's fun. More European adventures are coming. And trust me, you don't want to miss the stories I'm going to bring back from this Greece, Croatia. Oh yeah, going to Austria. Add that in there. You're going to see some stuff. We're probably going to be on top of a mountain somewhere. I don't know how you can make. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. Anyway, until next time, this is Kelly with Nerdgasmic Adventures and my... What's my line? Stay adventured. Stay adventured. If you're only staying adventured through me, that's okay, but I think you should go through me at some point. Travel plan through me. I do a good job. I can get you on anything. I'll figure it out. So, your future self will thank you if you do all these things I've been saying. And don't irritate your future self. No regrets, right? Or no regrets. Regrets. Anyway, it's Kelly signing off.